Come on in to the Awaken to Yourself podcast, where we discuss how to develop a deeper connection to yourself and therefore manifest that which you desire. My name is Fiona Christie and I'm joined by my co-host, Diane Clark-Manley. Let's dive into this week's episode. Episode 8 discusses how to live intentionally, why you'd want to, and what difference that could make to your life. Be sure to stick around to the end where we explain how you can implement this method to help you align with what you want to move forward to.
This podcast series, The Life Shift, follows Fiona's 12-module course, The Life Shift with the Internalist Way, which helps you connect with your own unique inner guidance system. Our topic is about living intentionally. So, what does it mean to live intentionally?
Well, my intention for what it means to live intentionally when I wrote the course was it's really kind of acting as if you believe that it's true. You know, what would you be doing if that were already true? So, for example, if you wanted to meet the man of your dreams and you were living with even a double bed or a single bed and you didn't have a bedside cabinet on the other side of the bed, then you're not living intentionally because you don't. It's almost as if you're saying to the universe, I don't actually believe it's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So living intentionally is, what do you intend to have happen in your life and live that way? You know what I mean? Intend it. So living intentionally for your future life.
Yeah, right. So as you said that, my head was going, well, if I have an intention to ride my bike, which I don't have, I need to get my bike out.
Yeah, totally. And you need to, you know, and keep it prepped, or, you know, or an example I might come up with is well, this is a true example, you know, when I just after we'd had the earthquakes, and I think I say this example quite a bit, but it's so prevalent. You know, I had to evacuate my home and I ended up on top of a hill in my car with the cats in the back, and I thought, this isn't what I signed up for. I don't want this. I don't want the debt. I don't want the mortgage. I want to live in a tiny house. So I came down, I started prepping my house for sale as if I was going to be in a tiny house. And everybody said to me, oh, you're mad, you know, it's your nest egg. And hey, you haven't got somewhere to put the tiny house. And I said, it doesn't matter. That will all sort itself out. You know, I'm walking the path of living in a tiny house. And then what happened? Bang, 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 bang. Met a joiner. He built it. Da, da, da. Had somewhere to put it. So it's kind of like that, living intentionally. Some people talk about this concept of acting as if.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
But if it's a very simple example, if you, again, like the bike, if you intend to go and buy a loaf of bread, then you go and buy the loaf of bread, isn't it? That's your intention in a very simple way. That's your intention. So putting it into practice in your life.
But in this way, it's kind of looking at your life as if, yeah, you're kind of believing. So, you know, we've already done, hang on, remind me, we've already done internal vibration, notice, thought, emotion, roadmap, accountability.
Now we're living intentionally.
NAL, yeah, living intentionally. So we haven't done the imagine one yet, which is coming up. But it's as if you're living your life with intention for what you want to have happen. So the bread example is good. And if you were to take that step back and go, oh, I really like bread today, but then you get on with your breakfast and you have Weet-Bix or whatever it is. But instead, if you go, I really want bread today, so I'm going I really want bread for my breakfast tomorrow. So I'm going to sort of put a reminder in the cupboard beside the Weet-Bix. So when I go grab it, I'll go, oh, that's right, I'm going to have, you know, so that's living intentionally, isn't it? It's a reminder that you just said you were going to buy bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's I mean, it could be about things you were going to do anyway, but I like to think it's about helping you get what you want as an outcome,
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Mm.
and that's living intentionally.
So, Fiona, is there a difference between what people term acting as if and living intentionally? What do you think?
Wow. We actually decided to see what the chatbot had to say about that because we debated it, didn't we, back and forward a little bit. And she couldn't have said it better.
Mm. So, acting as if often involves adopting behaviours or attitudes associated with a desired outcome or identity. And even if you don't fully feel that way yet, that's that whole thing, you're not quite there yet in your thinking. So, for example, if you wanted to be more confident, you might act confident in social situations, even if you're feeling nervous inside. So, it's about projecting an image or embodying a role to bring about the change.
Yeah, cool. So what she said about living intentionally is, on the other hand, living intentionally focuses on making conscious choices aligned with your values and goals. It's about being mindful of your actions and their consequences, ensuring that what you do reflects what you truly want in life. This approach encourages self-reflection and alignment between your actions and your beliefs. So, in summary, while acting as if can be a strategy for change, living intentionally is more about conscious decision making and alignment with your true self. Both can be powerful, but they serve different purposes. And I think really when I thought about living intentionally, her explanation is good for that. And I think that's really, I'd rather live my life with intention and, really focusing on um, doing the things that align with whatever I intend, I suppose. Yeah, what's your take? Do you think that sums it up?
Oh, brilliant. I think it's a brilliant summary of that whole thing of what you want your life to be like and that intention of putting it there. Yeah. Mm.
And I guess that living intentionally goes with the noticing, which was module number 2, because if you don't notice, you don't even know that you're not living intentionally, right?
Absolutely.
So many times in my life I'll go, oh yeah, I'm not living intentionally. If I want that, I've got to be doing this.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Brilliant.
So really this concept of living intentionally, it really embodies Wayne Dyer's book title and something that he held very dear, which is to see it when you believe it, as opposed to the other way around. So let's think about that statement for a moment.
Mm,
I'll see it when I believe it. Because most people say, I'll believe it when I see it. We even got confused when we were thinking about this before, eh? So you'll go through with something because you believe it's possible. Let's talk about that for a bit.
yeah. Yeah, it does kind of jiggle with your mind, doesn't it? That thing of yeah. So when you believe in something, you're more likely to see it out in your world, isn't it? And I was many years ago, the film What the Bleep came out, and
Yeah.
it talked about when the Spanish galleons came into South America, or one of the ports in South America. The Indians had never seen the ships, so they couldn't see the ships. They didn't know they were there because they didn't know how to interpret them. It was very
Oh, yeah,
interesting.
interesting, huh? Yeah,
Mm,
of course, that movie was quite a thing. If you
wasn't
haven't
it?
seen it, oldish now, you should be able to find it online somewhere. What the bleep do we know?
Yeah.
It reminds me of something I was just thinking about when you said that. What was it? Oh yeah, the RAS, the reticular activating system. So that's like our filter, right? So you'll only see it when you widen up your filter or whatever. That what you focus on. Actually, my neighbor was saying to me the other day that she was just thinking about, raw milk, that it would be a good idea for them to start getting raw milk. And hello, what happens then? Somebody contacts her and says, found this thing for raw milk, not even knowing that she was wanting raw milk. But once you start to put your intention out there and you start focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want, and that's an art in itself, because people think they're
Yeah.
focusing on what they want, but often they're actually focusing on what they won't, but don't want, by saying, well, I don't want this, but actually, what do you want? And then you start to see stuff once you believe it. I suppose it's a little bit like the whole spirituality or religion thing,
Yeah.
no, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also for me, I think I learnt the term angel numbers. Never heard of it before, but you'll often look at the clock and it'll be going 11:11 or 10:10. And now that I know that that's what they are, I'm seeing them all the time. It's not just
Yeah.
11:11, it's 4:44, or and you kind of
Yeah.
think it was always there before, but now I
Yeah.
know what they are. I understand that. It's quite interesting what we
It is.
see and what we
It is.
believe.
And another example would be, like, I've done this for years. Like, I asked the parking angels or parking fairies, please find me a park right by where I want to go. And everybody says to me, could you just find a park? That's fine. I said, yeah, because I asked for it. I
Mm,
intend it. I believe that it's going to happen.
yeah,
And other people will go, oh, I never find a park. Oh, or we'll be driving into town or something. And Dave might go, well, it's really busy. Oh, of course we won't find a park. And I said, we're gonna, let's change that thought right now, because if you believe that we won't find a park, then we probably won't.
yeah,
It's sort of
definitely.
it's a funny thing. It's an unseen scene,
Mm, mm, mm.
and I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant. The power of the mind, the power of the
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
and intention.
So living intentionally really is about living on purpose. Let's go back to the
Mm,
bedside cabinet example. How could you be living intentionally when you haven't even prepared for the man of your dreams to enter your life? So remember, that example was, you might have a double bed, or it's a single bed, but you haven't even got an extra bedside cabinet for the guy to put his stuff in, so you're not believing that it's possible. And then do you
yeah.
want to talk about the next bit?
Yeah, manifestation and vibration come to life when we live with intention, because we're telling the universe what we believe is possible, and we're giving it clear instructions for what we want to have to manifest. So we have a focus and we have a purpose of what we want to bring forward. Mm.
And I really believe this, and this is really a topical thing for us as well at the moment. Certainty and living intentionally are sisters. They're joined at the hip, so to speak, or at least they should be, because when you're not certain, when you go, oh, maybe it's this, or oh, I could do that, or maybe that, or maybe that, well, the kind of universal law of vibration, if you like to say law of attraction, but the vibrational thing comes first, I believe. It's going, well, this. So of course it's going to be turmoil, isn't
Yeah,
it? But when
yeah.
we're certain and we act as if, doesn't mean to say you can't change your mind, but often changing your mind is fear get in the way anyway.
Mm, mm,
So we got certain about something this week, I think.
yeah,
More about who our ideal person was that was going to be attracted to what we do, which was amazing. So when we're certain, things start falling into place, and we've already
yeah,
started to notice that.
yeah. And so they align. Everything comes into alignment, and then you've got progress.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes I think about some of these modules and I think, maybe it's a bit light on it, or maybe it's not that substance. But when you start to unpack it, they're all the things that, that's why I thought about 12 principles that when they're present, the life just flows.
Mm. And a lot of it's about that conscious awareness of really noticing what you're thinking. And
Yeah.
then if you want something in particular, you put it out there with clarity and purpose and
Yeah.
focus. And usually things come and are manifested. They may not manifest in the time frame you want them or in the way you want them, but they will come forward to be
Yeah.
here. Mm,
Yeah. It's very cool. Very cool topic.
it is. You'll see it when you believe it. Remember the Wayne Dyer quote we used before? It emphasizes that our belief systems shape our perceptions and experiences.
And this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson fits well here. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Both those quotes highlight the power of mindset and conscious choice in creating our realities. Thanks so much for listening to this episode about living intentionally.
In our next episode, we'll be exploring daring to dream with your imagination.
And if you haven't already, be sure to get on the list so you receive advance notice when our next episode goes live.
Just head to our website, www.theawakenedguru.com/blog, where you can sign up to receive advanced notification. So it's bye for now from Diane.
And bye for now from Fiona, and we'll see you on the next one.